Hello everyone, this is Tribecast episode 32 and my name is Marina. You know, this week it's actually my birthday and I decided to have a small girls-only party. My guests for today are Amel Gaily from FiBAN and Suvi Lehtonen from Laurea ES. So, let's get started. It's always good to be back to some place where you already have some good experience, and if you have listened to our Helsinki episode, you already know a few things about Laurea 01. And I have learned that one more organization which Tribe Tampere has done previously some cooperation before and hopefully will be doing some cooperation in the future, which is FiBAN Investor Network, is now having its home, or Helsinki home, in Laurea 01. There was a bit of exchanging of emails and other stuff. Let me introduce to you Amel Gaily, who is the new lead of FiBAN, and probably it's better if Amel starts talking herself. So hello Amel, thank you very much for having time for this interview, and could you please tell our listeners a few things about yourself?
So hi, first of all, thank you very much for having me. I'm very excited to be here. So yes, my name is Amel Gaily, and I'm the Managing Director of the Finnish Business Angels Network, so FiBAN for short, and have been since the 5th of August. So coming up on 4 weeks soon. Before this role, I worked as the deal flow manager for FiBAN. And before FiBAN, I've worked in banking and private banking mainly, so investments.
According to your LinkedIn, before that, you also have some experience in flying.
Well, actually, not flying. I have worked for an airline, and I've worked at the airport, but never as a flying cabin crew. So only one of the nerds in the back office doing the Excels.
Okay. You can still tell people that you're flying.
I have to admit, I loved that world. I loved being in the aviation industry. It was fast-paced and exciting and a lot of things happening. And which is naturally a similarity to the world of startups and private investing.
We kind of already had an interview with a few FiBAN members, so our listeners, if they want, they can just go back to the interview with Austin Numinen and figure out what FiBAN is. My question for you will be more like, how do you understand the role of FiBAN? Why does it exist?
Okay, good question. So FiBAN was actually founded 9 years ago by 20 business angels. And I think that's very essential to what we are and why we exist, to go back to the beginning a little bit. So we were founded by business angels for business angels. And our group, our network, has grown organically in the past 9 years from 20 to 650 members. So all of our services, which have increased and of course developed over time, are geared towards business angels. Next year is going to be our 10th year of operations, so it's going to be a festival year, or for lack of a better word, a celebration year. The field looks very different now than it did 10 years ago, so the role of FiBAN has evolved and needs to evolve and grow as the ecosystem changes. But at the very core, we are a business angel network, and our mission hasn't changed, which is to inspire private investments.
Right. And speaking of private investments, or speaking of where to put the investments, as a caretaker of Tribe Tampere startup community, of course, my main interest is how do you choose where to?
So choose which startups to invest in.
Or which businesses in general. Is there some kind of regulation, 5 pages of how to choose the right business to invest to?
Well, one of our core services for our members is training. So business angels training, and usually it is more experienced business angels teaching newer ones on their principles and their core kind of due diligence metrics and how they decide what to invest on. So FiBAN itself, it's a nonprofit. The network doesn't invest, our members do. And as we have 650 members, they are from different backgrounds, and they choose to invest with very different principles. Some are very focused on certain sectors or startups on certain stages, and some are more agnostic. Last year, our members invested over 36 million into 435 companies, and there's a vast difference in those companies.
Then maybe there is some kind of companies or startups or sectors which your members are highly unrecommended to invest to.
Highly unrecommended, so those that they try not to.
Yeah.
Well, we do see, if I turn it to the positive, we do see that, for example, B2B software startups, they are typically more successful in raising funding from our members, but it doesn't only have to be that. So more and more of our members are also curious to learn about other industries. But one of the golden rules that many of our members and angel investors go by is to only invest in what you understand in. So kind of the career backgrounds and domain expertise that our members have very much shape the industries that they invest in. So one of the, as an example, one sector that perhaps many are a little bit cautious towards, and this is not a recommendation to be, this is an observation, for example, is gaming. We have some members who have specialized in it and know how to invest in gaming, but then a lot of our members, they don't really know it, they don't understand it, and are cautious about it.
So don't give the money to people whom you don't understand.
Well, I think it's a very good golden rule, and it applies for all kind of investing, not only into growth companies and startups, but into anything. So don't invest into what you don't understand.
Let's pretend that my late granny, God blesses her soul, turned out to be a millionaire, and now I have some extra cash in my pocket. Can I join FiBAN, or what are the requirements to become a member?
The main requirement or criteria for the membership application is a recommendation from 2 existing members. So our application process is pretty straightforward in the sense that we have some very typical questions about background and relevance, and then the necessity of 2 existing recommendations. And all of the new members are then accepted by the board in our board meeting.
Right.
We welcome, just to add to that, we welcome new members from very different backgrounds. So we have members joining who are sometimes very experienced investors, or are former entrepreneurs who have just exited, who now want to become an investor, or then we get very new investors with kind of outside the scene with no experience. So it's one of the richnesses of the network.
And since it's a Finnish business investment network, does it mean that investors have to be having Finnish background, or how do you do the Finnish part?
Not at all. Our membership requirement is not to be Finnish, not even to speak Finnish. Actually, a few years back already, we've changed the main language for all of our events and communications to English because of our growing English-speaking member population. So we are seeing more and more of foreigners who move to Finland who want to join FiBAN. And then we're seeing more and more of Finns who live abroad, but who are still active in the Finnish startup investment scene. So not at all. And one of actually the big trends that is shaping the whole landscape is cross-border investing. So more and more of foreign angels are interested in Finnish startups, and then vice versa. Many of our experienced angels also want to see international deal flow.
Right. Okay, I was checking your LinkedIn. I was traveling by train, I needed something to read, and I thought that your LinkedIn page is a perfect reading. It goes there that you wrote your thesis about one topic which is highly of interest for startup entrepreneurs, at least in my experience. As far as I remember, it was something about team or team building or understanding the team.
Okay, well, I have 2 masters, so I was thinking you must not refer to my first one, which was about the International Monetary Fund and structural loan conditions.
The other one.
So the other one, my major was corporate governance. Mm-hmm. So I was looking into the board's role in creating employee engagement. Mm-hmm. And I was more focusing on large corporates and larger companies, but it definitely plays a role for startups or companies of any size as well. So what are kind of the factors that upper management and boards should take into account in companies in building the governance structures and frameworks and the culture?
Right, and this is something definitely that you apply in your current position, as far as I can understand.
Well, I would hope so. Yeah, definitely. So we have a fantastic team. There's 4 of us at the moment, and we are in the process of recruiting a 5th. So the new deal flow manager, and our team is they're highly experts in their own fields and own domains, and we have a big network, and we have very engaged members. Definitely.
As far as I remember, also you were the previous deal flow manager. What is this position actually about? We know that the application round is closed, but still everybody's curious.
Yeah. So the role of the deal flow manager at FiBAN, that person is the go-to person for startups. And the main job is to actively link startups and potential investment opportunities with our business angels. Mm-hmm. So then because of our volumes, as mentioned, over 600 business angels and hundreds of deal flow, we have a pretty structured process for that. So the deal flow manager assists with, or doesn't assist, but is responsible for pre-screening and then facilitating screening and facilitating pitching and then also helping out in syndication discussions, the initial stages. So kind of the whole process and value chain of that. Then our deal flow manager is also kind of our data and statistics person. Mm-hmm. Because one of the key things that people always ask, oh, you're from FiBAN? Oh, really? How much do angels invest and into what? And what size are the tickets and so forth? So data is gold. That's not my statement, but I underline it.
Right. Maybe you can also tell, just out of curiosity, what are the other team members and team positions?
So then we have Heidi Tavast, who is our community manager, and she works with our partners, with our communications, with ecosystem. Then we have Reetta Ilo, who is our international affairs and manager, and she's responsible for our Nordic Angel program, which is a Nordic cross-border training and investment program. Then she's also she has other responsibilities, such as organizing our FiBAN academies, our educational programs, and our study trips abroad. And then we have Wasim Al-Nasser, who is our communications assistant, who is our photo / video / graphic design / Superman. But of course, it's a small team, so we all help out with everything.
Could you say a few more words about the Nordic Angel program, because it was quite highly advertised and I guess there was some curiosity?
Yeah, so the Nordic Angel program has been running this is going to be the 4th and final round, actually. Mm-hmm. So it started in 2018, January, and it is simultaneously ongoing in Finland, Estonia, Denmark, and Norway. And it is supported by the EU Horizon 2020 project. And in Finland, Reetta, who is coordinating it, she works very closely with the other business angel networks as well. But the spring edition is in cooperation with Arctic 15, and then the fall edition is in cooperation with Slush. So the idea is to increase cross-border investing. So she gathers a group of business angels, a syndicate, and then she also facilitates the deal flow for that program. And then together they go through the training program, and the end result is an investment by the syndicate into one of the startups. It will be revealed in Slush.
Right. So that kind of covers my question. Oh, maybe not. I was actually going to ask about the cooperation with other business angel networks. Like, I know that FiBAN is quite actively present in Finland, but maybe there are other Nordics.
Yeah, we work very closely with especially, we talk about new Nordics. So that's the traditional Nordics plus the Baltics. Mm-hmm. But FiBAN is a member of IBAN, the European Business Angel Network, mm-hmm. and we're very active there as well. I think I have to highlight that FiBAN is one of the most active and the largest business angel networks, mm-hmm. even in the world, which is surprising to many considering Finland and our size. But the business angel network here has grown. But we work very closely with the other bands, and we have members that some of our members are members of some of the other Nordic bands as well, and vice versa. This work is in cooperation and in unison with them. Especially FiBAN, we work a lot with them.
Right. I guess I have one last question. Amel, is there any chance that we'll have a cup of coffee and talk a bit more during Stream Startup Festival with you?
Well, that sounds great. Thank you. We were at Stream last year and it was a lot of fun. So looking forward to this year, what the team has put together.
Great. Then see you 3rd of October in Tampere. And thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you, Marina.
So it's Sunday. It's actually the first day of autumn. And back home, we celebrate the Day of Knowledge, meaning that poor school kids are dragged back to school. And I used to have fun over them by, watching them from my flat window because I have a school just in front of my house back home. And, they are so poor and miserable and suffering and sleepy. And there is me in my coffee and my cozy pajamas and I don't have to do that anymore. This is the only day in the year when I don't have to wake up early. But ESs, as student entrepreneurship societies, sometimes make you feel like a school kid. For example, waking you up 1st of September, early morning. However, I don't mind because I have a really nice person to talk to. I hope we'll learn some interesting stuff and we'll enhance the cooperation between Tribe Tampere community and ES associations outside of Tampere, around Finland. So my guest for today is Suvi from Laurea ES. Hello, Suvi, and please tell our listeners a few things about yourself before we start talking the official part.
Hello, and good morning to you as well, and I'm very happy to be here. So, my name is Suvi Lehtonen, and I'm the chairman of Laurea Entrepreneurship Society, and we operate in the Helsinki region. This is actually my first podcast ever, so if my voice sounds weird, just tell me.
Nope, it does not.
So as I specified, I'm the chairman for the 2nd year in a row. I have been involved since 2016, so I'm kind of a veteran in the ES circles already, and everybody knows my face. But there's so many awesome people that I have met throughout the ES network, so I don't really want to give it up. I was supposed to tell something about myself. Well, this semester I'm actually writing my thesis. about validating chief workplace officers in Finland. And that's a whole new area that I have been diving in since the summer. But in the ES field,